afternoon, everyone. Today's quick study, really it's just a notification, and it is on censorship and the mark of the beast. So we know from the Dark Ages that the Bible was not widespread, that the Bibles were attached to the pulpits through chains, and Martin Luther started the Reformation. But before that was Wycliffe trying to translate the Bible into the common man's language. Later it was translated into English. But during that time, Wycliffe's Bibles were burned because the Catholic Church wanted to have control on the way the translations came out and what the people knew. If you wanted to have knowledge on the scripture, you had to go to your priest. And so by this way, they censored what people could know, and people looked up to their priests to just give them their religion. So today, we've had a type of censorship also in the churches. The churches became 501c3s, and there's certain things that you can talk about in a 501c3 and certain things that you really can't. So that's censorship. Why am I bringing this up right now? Yesterday, on August the 6th, 2018, Alex Jones, who is who has an alternative website that you can get a lot of articles that other people write. In other words, it could be Forbes magazine telling you about something they're doing in some small article, and he'll bring it up, and maybe he'll get another article from over here and put it all together and show you about chemtrails. It'll show you about evil things that are going on in the government or in the press. The press today is basically sanctioned by the government because they put into all these places like the New York Times, CNN. They have government writers, and we can go into all that at another time. But this is to show that yesterday, Alex Jones' channel on YouTube, on Facebook, some of his podcasts, I think his podcast station, they were all taken down. In other words, just completely erased. They're not there anymore. You can't go and look up something that you know that you got that information at the Alex Jones InfoWars website. And if you don't know who he is, then that tells me that you're not doing due diligence to find out the news, that you're just watching regular Fox News, and Fox is owned by Rupert Murdoch, and right now it's going through a huge transition to where even those people that were talking about the right, on the right, they're only able to say so much, or else they're going to get fired, and certain people have already been fired. And so then you have ABC, NBC, MSNBC, and CNN. They're all state-run news organizations. They got so infiltrated. And who are the best people at infiltration? Jesuits, the Catholics. They infiltrate everything and take over. They embrace, enfold, extinguish. So yesterday, Facebook and YouTube, I should have wrote all these places down where Alex Jones has been taken off. Not only that, today, on August the 7th, they went into because he has items for sale, which would be t-shirts or whatever, to fund his organization, just the way television has commercials and they sell things, so they get money from those commercials. So Alex Jones has items that he sells. They're all health-related items. There's water purifiers and health-related items, but he has to have a way to sell it. So he uses, I think it's called an app called Sprout that can help him sell his items. I'm not really sure how it works, but that's one thing. And then the other one was MailChimp, which is used so that you can email people on your list. They decided, both Sprout and MailChimp have decided not to let him use their, like their way that they're able to sell, okay, and that they're able to send emails. So then now he can't use YouTube, and now he can't use Facebook, and now he can't use Spotify, and now he's not on Pinterest. Nobody who, you can't put anything from Alex Jones on Pinterest. So what is this? This is censorship. Now, if you look up, I don't know if it was 2 years ago, entities like Facebook, which is Mark Zuckerberg, he went to see the Pope. And then it was Tim Cook and somebody else. So it was Microsoft, Alphabet company, because now that includes Google, and all these major companies, corporations went to see the Pope. So the Pope is shutting them down. The Pope, through Georgetown University, sued Alex Jones a couple of months ago, but I think they threw out the lawsuit because it was so frivolous. They had nothing they were basing it on. They just wanted to sue him. So censorship, who's going to censor you? Who doesn't want you to know the truth? Who doesn't want the truth out there? Because what Alex Jones was doing was exposing all the vaccines, plastics, geoengineering, chemtrails, all these things, directed energy weapons. Those things are coming right now. They're burning up California and Greece with energy weapons. 9/11 was an energy weapon that brought down the towers. So they don't want you to know. They want you to stay in ignorance. They want you to stay stupid. The Catholic Church doesn't want you to know what was in the Bible. That's censorship. That comes from Satan. Satan doesn't want you to know the truth. He wants you to stay oblivious and dumbed down. And what the problem is there's nobody in the churches telling of all the bad stuff that's going around. If your church was telling you about directed energy weapons or your cell phones or microwaves, you should never be using a microwave. If you still have a microwave, you need to look it up and see how dangerous. If you want to know why your brain's not working and your family's not healthy and why they're going to the hospital, because microwaves are killing you. They're using microwave energy to do these fires in California, in Greece, etc. They're using microwave energy from HAARP to either make it flood or make it drought or make it burn. And so Satan's using all this. He has power to bring down fire from heaven, which heaven doesn't necessarily mean just where Yah is. There's the heavens. So fire is coming down from the heavens, burning up the earth, scorching the earth, because Satan is in the industry of killing people before they know the truth. This is a time where we need to know the truth. And if they censor you, and nobody's saying anything, the Bible says, Isaiah 56:10, his watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark. Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. So right there, no one's saying anything. You don't hear a word. Why? Because if you're looking back in my past videos, it shows that the Seventh-day Adventist Church is connected to the Vatican. If you're connected, you're not going to say anything bad about the Catholic system, the Catholic control, the Catholic censorship. And the Vatican had talked about people like Alex Jones over a year ago to shut him down. And so now it's happened, and it happened on 8/6, which, have you ever heard the term, he's been 86'd? In other words, he's gone. That's what happened to Alex Jones. But you can still go to Infowars.com, which is funny. We just got one of our other computers fixed, and when you try to put in Infowars.com, it brings up this thing that says, oh, malware, malware, malware. So they even have algorithms to get you afraid of going to Alex Jones' website, which Alex Jones has a lot of information on health that the church isn't even telling you. He has information on nanotechnology and plastics and what the plastics are doing to your body, why you're sick, why do you have too much estrogen? Why do you have polycystic disease? All because of plastics. So he's the one who's been bringing all this to the forefront. He even talks about God. He even talks about the kingdom of God, which the church isn't even talking about. So I'm not saying Alex Jones is perfect, but he does talk about it. So they are today taking down his ability to make business transactions because they took him off of Sprouts, which is the way that he's able to sell merchandise, and they took him off of MailChimp, which is his ability to be able to email people. So they take him off the internet. Well, he still wants to email you with reports, but they took him off of that. So what does that sound like? Okay. 14, Revelation 13, 14, we'll start there. Well, we're talking about fire, so let's go to 13. Revelation 13, 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. That's going on in California right now, and it was in Greece. And those fires are so intense, they're not a regular fire. They've already proven that the temperatures of these fires are not like setting something on fire with a match. It's ridiculously strong fires that can burn glass. Okay, a regular fire doesn't burn glass. So this is directed energy weapons. And this is what Satan's doing. He deceiveth them. He deceives you by not letting you know the truth, keeping you blinded to what's going on, and making you think, oh, God's doing this, and it's the last days, and God's doing this. God's not doing this. Satan's doing it. Now, if you're living in an area where there's nothing but sin, I would suspect that Yah is allowing this to happen so that people like us can look at it and say, we need to get under Yah's protection, which I'll bring that in the end. What is his protection? Okay, so 13, Revelation 13, 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. See, the Catholic Church had a wound, but they lived because people stopped protesting against them. Martin Luther protested against the Catholic Church, and by protesting and putting out the truth, that caused there to be a wound, because truth is the sword. Okay, so he stuck that sword in, and every single church after that was sticking the sword in more. And it was to continue until they killed the beast. But what happened? They stopped protesting against the beast system. So SDA stopped protesting. They don't have any watchmen. They don't have anybody to sound an alarm because they won't let those people go in and tell the truth. They're blocking the truth from you. They're Catholic now. Catholics do as Catholics do. If it's a duck, it quacks. If it's a Catholic church and doesn't allow you to speak, there was a little pamphlet written in the 1950s that said the SDA had stopped having religious liberty. These people in the 1950s were realizing that things were changing. They weren't allowed to speak their mind. And to this day, you'll be kicked out. I have a previous video about that. So, let's continue. Revelation 13, 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their forehead, that no man might buy or sell. It's either keeping a truth teller from their ability to buy or sell. So right now he can't sell. He has to go to another. He's going to figure out another way to do it. But they're trying to squeeze him out of the marketplace. And he's one of the only news organizations that's constantly talking about God, even though he doesn't. He says, "I'm not a perfect person. He's not a pastor or anything like that. He's just a person saying Satan's evil." And he talks about the Catholic Church performing satanic rituals and things like that. So they want him shut down. So this is just the beginning. You should be alarmed. There should be an alarm that we are in the times where they're shutting off your ability to sell. okay? Your ability to tell the truth. Censorship, freedom of speech. This is supposed to be a country of freedom of speech. It's not. You're just not hearing about it because you're not protesting. You're not doing anything. You're just laying around. Okay. It says, and I'm talking to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I'm talking to a lot of people who proclaim to be good people, yet they just go along with the system to get along. Okay. So 16, he causes both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their foreheads, that no man may buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. So this is a big day of censorship. And I want you to know, what does it mean to have, how do you know if you're in Yah's kingdom or if you're in Satan's with this mark of the beast system? If you go to Deuteronomy, where else does it talk about a mark in your hand or in the forehead? If you go to Deuteronomy 6, it says, now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments. So here you see it's not just commandments, it's all these things. So the statutes and the judgments that are written in the law of Moses, which include the feast days and what we're to eat, clean and unclean meats, and all these things. It says, these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Yah your Yil commanded. So he's commanded not only the 10 commandments, but the statutes and judgments are commandments, because it says that that Yah commanded to teach you, and that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess. He's giving us a promise that we're going to possess the land. What's the land? The earth. Okay, that thou mayest fear the Lord thy Yah, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, that thy days may be prolonged. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our Yah is one Yah. So anyone who has 3 gods, you're out of the kingdom already. You only can have one. And it says, and thou shalt love the Yah thy Yah with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. We're supposed to be reading, speaking, teaching the statutes. And thou shalt bind them. So this is why we're reading this right here. We're to bind these. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand. See, Yah has a sign upon your hand. The mark of the beast is a sign upon the people who take the mark of the beast. But this is Yah's, the statutes, the judgments, the commandments, which include, the statutes are all the feast days. So if you keep the feast days, you have Yah's mark. It says, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. Now, this is something in Spanish. Have you ever heard of anteojos? These are anteojos. These are glasses. They're like in front of your eyes. These help you to see. This is supposed to be, the statutes and the judgments are supposed to be frontlets between your eyes. It's something that's supposed to be ever in your sight, okay? And it says, they shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and frontlets between your eyes. This is it right here, your brain. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates, okay? Verse 20, and when thy son asketh thee in time to come. See, there's going to be a time to come that people are going to start asking about these statutes. That time is now. And when the son asketh thee in time to come, saying, what mean these testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which the Yah our Yil hath commanded you? So if you're asking these questions, this is coming to fruition. It's a prophecy. Go to verse 23. And he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in to give us the land which he sware unto our fathers. This is the land in the last days. The land is what he swore to us, okay? And the Lord commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Lord our Yah for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is at this day. Do you want to be preserved alive during time of trouble? Your only preservation is to keep the statutes and the judgments, and then he's going to have a place for you, which you have a study about what that place is. And I'm telling you as a warning, if you are not seeing this, it's like this is the warnings at the mark of the beast, the time of trouble, that you need to be where Yah tells you to be. It says, and it shall be our righteousness. If you want to know how you're going to have righteousness, that you're going to be acceptable to Yah, and it, which are these statutes, they're to be your righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Yah our Yil, as he has commanded us. Okay? So that's how you get the mark of Yah and not the mark of the beast. And here again in Deuteronomy 10:12 it says, and now Israel, what did the Lord thy Yah require of thee? See, it's not just the Jews in Israel that are Israel, it's all those that were scattered across the whole earth. They're all going to come into one place. And most of them are already here in the United States because they had religious freedom, so they came here. It says, and now Israel, what doth the Yah thy Yil require of thee, but to fear the Yah thy Yil, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Yah thy Yil with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord, which is the YHWH, the Yah, and his statutes. Don't read over that word statutes. Read it. Which I command thee this day for thy good. Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Yah's thy Yil. The earth also with all that therein is. See, the earth doesn't belong to Satan. It belongs to the Father, Yah. He can decide when he's going to start the time of trouble for the evil people. The time of trouble such as never was is for the evil people, the wicked, the violators of the law of Moses. Those are the wicked. So those who refuse to keep the feast days are wicked. Only the Yah hath a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed. We're the seed. And if you're a seed, that means something's going to grow eventually. We're the seed, and then we're going to be planted in that land, and we're going to grow and multiply. This is a kingdom promises that your church won't talk about, that my church won't talk about, that I grew up in, 5th generation Seventh-day Adventist, and the Jesuits blocked this latter-day prophecy from you. Although it's written throughout the entire Bible. Only the Yah hath a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed. He chose us after them, even you above all people as it is this day. So now let's go to Deuteronomy 11, because there's something that also mentions the frontlet, okay? So the beginning it says, 11:1 says, therefore thou shalt love the Yah thy Yil, and keep his charge, and his statutes, and his judgments, and his commandments always. Not just for before Yasha comes, but always, okay? And it says, Deuteronomy 11:18, therefore shall ye lay up these, my words. These are his words, not people's words, not my words, Sharon, not any pastor's words, but these are Yah's words. And if you say you keep the word of the Yah, then you have to keep his statutes, judgments, and his commandments. And that those statutes, when we go and we read Leviticus 23, I say, read Leviticus 23, it says, these are my statutes, these are my feast days. All those are his days to meet with you. It says, therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand. It's what you do. It's going to be everything that you do. Every time you keep a feast day, you're doing something. It's your work. You you show up when he says, meet me at the gate of the tabernacle on my feast days. I will be there to see you. That's how you have righteousness by faith. You believe what he says, you keep his feast days, and he will bless you. It says, bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. So here, on this day that we are talking about censorship, if you don't stand up for free speech now, and stand up for people who the government is trying to take away their ability to tell you the truth, you're not able to see what this is. Censorship by the Catholic Church. They rule Facebook, YouTube, and all these spying things. When we're using YouTube, they can come and see what I'm saying at any time. They're on my computer. They can hear my words. That's how they control you. And they're listening to everything that you say. So you need to stand up for Yah. So they want to censor people from using certain platforms that they invented, thinking that was just their way to be able to spy on you. They never knew that people were going to, hey, we can use this YouTube to send out truth, to talk about what's wrong in the world, to tell who's killing people and who's pushing in the immigrants to take away, to flood the woman so that she's no longer here on the earth. We can get rid of her by bringing in all these evil things like transgender and homosexuality and all these things that are ruining your body and your mind because they're not the way the Creator made you to be. And so if you want to be what the Creator wanted you to be, you need to take the word of Yah and use it as a cleansing agent to change the way you think. You were thinking the way that Satan wants you to think. Now think like Yah. Start reading his Bible. It will change you. It's like a refreshing fountain that comes down and refreshes your mind and refreshes your soul. Takes away the sin. You need Yasha, his fountain of truth. You need the Sefer, you need the Sefer Yahweh, which is the book of the law, the fountain of the book of the law, to come down and wash your thinking and change your bad thinking into good thinking. Now, Deuteronomy 11:21 says that your days may be multiplied. Do you want your days to be multiplied, or do you just want to end it here with the horrible way this world has turned and the horrible things that you think? Don't you want to be a cleansed new person with the renewing of your mind? Don't you want your days to be multiplied in this kingdom, the millennial kingdom? That your days may be multiplied and the days of your children, more children, in the land which the Yah sware unto your fathers to give them as the days of heaven upon the earth. They are days of heaven upon the earth. Read that, Deuteronomy 11:21. People aren't telling you that there's going to be days of heaven on the earth, that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children in the land which the Yah sware unto your fathers. Yah doesn't lie, so if he swore something to your fathers, he's going to give it to the children, the seed. To give them as the days of heaven upon the earth. We've been telling you about the kingdom. We have several videos. We say go look at those videos. Re-watch 3 or 4 of the kingdom videos that we have. Put that into your mind. Start wiping away your thoughts that you had a different plan for yourself and that you're just waiting for Yasha to come so you can go to heaven when he wants to reclaim the earth, because the Yah says the earth is his. So Yah sends his son that we may learn the truth, and that he may take back this earth, because he's given it to Yasha and his followers as their inheritance. He gave it to us. And so these days are upon us where this is going to happen. But right now, they're censoring. So what I want to say is, we also are going to be putting videos up shortly on a web platform that's called Real.video. Because YouTube is getting to be a censorship king. So Real.video soon. We'll let you know in a video when we start putting it up, but just want to get it in your head. get yourself maybe a membership with it, real.video. And we just want to say to keep in touch with us. Send us at 12th Hour Kingdom at, let's see, 12th Hour Kingdom at gmail.com. Send us your emails, because we're getting close to the time where we're not going to be able to put a video on YouTube and give you the truth. So you're going to have to be connected to us through emails. And we just ask you to also fund us. We've never once asked you to fund us, but at this time when we have to get more computers, we've been getting new computers because our computers crashed, and we want to be able to give you the truth for this time, present truth messages. And you're supposed to give your tithe where truth is coming from. So you're going to get a blessing when you do Yah's will. Tithing is one of these statutes. It wasn't done away with. And you're to give to the storehouse wherever the truth is being stored and given out as food, as grain, that you eat it and it nourishes your body. And so we want to tell you that if you don't get a video from us every week, to go back and watch these videos, even the ones further back that have a lot of scripture to show you something that maybe you weren't understanding, but go back and read those. Go to our website at timesandlaws.com. Also, do us a favor, and if you like the video, check like. If you are not already subscribed, subscribe. Those things cause the message to go further out. When people see that a lot of people are liking the videos, then they're going to like the video, and then they'll tell their friend about it. And so subscribe to our channel, press like, put a positive comment on underneath so someone else can see your comment, and also write to us and give us your email accounts so that if there's a time when this channel is taken off, we can still send you a newsletter. So all these things are something we haven't said, but it's getting to this point where people are being censored. And before that happens, where we're completely unable to reach you, we want you to send us your information, and we'll keep it on hand for that time. We'll make a list, and we'll be able to send you a direct email if we're still able to do emails. So let's just look at the fact that these people are already being knocked down. They're not able to do certain things, and they're taking away people's ability to buy or sell. The mark of the beast is either you're in Satan's kingdom or you're in Yahshua's kingdom, and you have his statutes and his mark in your mind and on the frontlets and on your hands. That's his statutes and judgments that you do. And the ones who don't, they have the mark of the beast. And so we thank you for listening to this message, and we just encourage you to read the book of the Law of Moses, to watch our videos. For any questions that you have, let us know. Contact us. You can even just put a comment below and say, please contact me, and I'll get a hold of you, and we'll help you to understand the latter day messages and the mark of the beast, and the true worship times to meet with Yahshua, and what he does for you on these worship times. He refreshes you, he gives you energy, he gives you his truth, and your mind is transformed. So we'll just end with that, and we just want to say the Catholic Church wants to keep you from knowing the truth. Don't let that happen. Keep in contact with us, and we would appreciate you sending your tithe money so that we can continue giving you the latter day messages. Thank you.